Hello everyone, welcome back to the channel. I am using some die cuts today, and you can see here that the die cuts come in a sheet. This is First Christmas, and there's lots of little very sweet images. We've also got the Christmas Fun rose gold paper pad. This is 6x6. You can sort of see it's shimmery. It's not shimmery, it's glossy, it's shiny, it's all things lovely, but of course it's really hard to see in the camera. Like, you can see it flashing and everything else, but the prettiness of it all, just, it's hard to see. We're going to make 2 cards today. You don't need to trim these out. I am cutting them out because it was there, my knife was there. And then what I usually would do is I punch it out, and then I'll use a pair of scissors just to trim off the little daggy bits. But you can do whatever. I've trimmed this card piece down to 14.1 by 9.7. I couldn't remember then for a second. I have this little scrap piece of cardstock that I found, and I've just trimmed a tiny little bit off him to just center him a little bit better. We've got a Merry Christmas that I'm going to take out of this paper pad, and this is included in the die cut pack. So there's lots of card opportunities there with lots of sentiments to go with it. I've got Pumice Stone Distress inks. I started off doing it on my craft mat, but you know, we get carried away sometimes. So I've got a silicone mat here that I'm just using to help me hold the cardstock a little bit, and also with grabbing the ink. And it was a little bit too white. Now you do have white around the die cut, but it's just a little bit too strong a white. My card base is also white, so I'm not too worried about the die cuts. I just want a little something. I'm quite liking this rose gold with the tones of the die cuts. It's just a little bit different for me, and I like it. I really like it. We've added a little bit of foam tape on the back of that. We're going to mount up my little baby Jesus, and I'm going to cut this because you don't need to see me play around with that, because there was lots of little edges to that. I'm also going to add a tiny little bit extra underneath where I want my sentiment, because he's just needs a little bit more support. So I'm going to use my craft knife just to push that under, and then lift it up carefully and peel off the backing to it. Raising up my little sentiment. So there's lots of dimension in this card, and it's good fun. It's good fun. Apart from the next step, that's it. And I stopped myself. Did you notice? I stopped myself. I went to put my stickles on, and I went, no, glue it to the base, Nat. Glue it to the base, and then put your stickles on. I totally didn't do with the next card. I'll tell you that now. I've got some Christmas red stickles just for my little berries, just to bring them out a little bit more. I thought about adding a little bit of red dots around. I just thought that's going to look a little bit too much. So we've just got some Stardust stickles dotted around and through our little bed that our baby is on. And that's it. Card number 1 is done. Card number 2, we're going to do a little bit more distress inks with this. These were just, especially the Pumice Stone, they were just, it was on my bench, it was on my counter. I'm going to use this nativity scene, and I'm just trimming off my little daggy bits, getting an idea of how low my sky can go. I'm not worrying about the center, obviously, but I am just trying to make sure there's a bit of blue underneath my images that you can see. We don't want the white. Here I've got Salty Ocean, and then I'm coming in with a bit of chipped sapphire for my darker colour. We're going to put that around the edge and then just blend it back through again with the Salty Ocean. Of course, you can use any inks. These were just I didn't think about it too much. These were the ones that I just grabbed quickly. Clean that off quickly. Because the next what we're going to do is some green, and fight with my inks running around my desk. This is Mowed Lawn. We're going to use this colour straight. There's not going to be any other colours because we're going to do a little bit later on with him. This card is going to go south very, very soon. We've got a little bit of water and splattering that over the image after it's let it sit for a while. Just dab that off, and now I've dried it. Now, I am not big on white around my images. I don't own a lot of matching dyes. That's me. There's nothing wrong with them. That's just me. So what I thought I would have a try, I saw someone else, I think it was Kelly. She colours her images. And to start off with, I didn't mind it. It was fine. It was not too bad whatsoever. And then as I carried on to outline it around it stood out like a sore thumb. I don't like it. I use the too dark colour, even though I tried to use it against a chart. So we're going to do a little bit of surgery and we're going to trim that off. I'm not starting this card again. I'm not starting the card. Around the edges, I'm going to put a bit of pumice stone because it does have a little bit of a grey tone to it. You know, like that, just that muted sort of colouring. And a lot of foam. So we just place him down. Now the little lamb, he did get disconnected from the die cut. The star, I didn't worry about the extra little trailing edges, let's going to say. I cut the little duck's feet off. Full disclosure, I trimmed them off. So I just drew that in with a marker. Now, next thing, apart from diamond stickles on my star for some sparkle, I glued the feet of all the images down, like the donkey, the sheep, the bottom of it, so they looked a little bit more rounded. That's just, you don't have to do that. It's just what I like to do. This is giving you options, and you can see I added a little bit more sparkle around the card because it's Christmas and we all need a little bit of sparkle. Next, what I'm going to do is put a little bit of ground under everything. Now I'm going to use my tool here just to hold my little donkey's feet down. He needed a little bit more support. I'm using YG17, YG13 and YG21 just to give them a bit of, just finish it off. It just needed a little bit, little sprigs of grass and just the shading underneath the animals. And that's going to be it for my card. I do hope you like it. I do hope you're well, and I will talk to you very, very soon. Bye.